Okay, this is the First Things First crew, and they're talking about Aaron Rodgers' legacy, how his New York tenure affects his legacy. And let me hear what they have to say. I might chime in while they talk. I don't know. We'll see.
York Jet, if you'd have asked me who was better, Favre or Rodgers, I probably would have said Rodgers. Now I think I'd say Favre.
Really?
Yeah, Favre had a final act.
Yeah.
Favre left the Packers. He was okay. He was good with Coach Mangini and the Jets, and then got hurt and wasn't the end of the year.
He was playing really well.
Right, he was playing really well, got hurt. The season ended poorly. But then went to the Vikings, almost won MVP, finished second. They got to the conference championship, and then his final year, abject as that. You know what I mean? Just a terrible year. He was done.
Right.
Fine, so be it. But he had that one last breath.
Brett Favre was, I think, a better quarterback. He was a lot more exciting to watch. Aaron Rodgers, I think, has the stats. But Favre was so much fun to watch. He was great. All right, that's all I want to say about Brett Favre.
Not only did Rodgers not have the one last breath, it to me, I never quite understood why a guy who before Patrick Mahomes came into the league, I would have said is the most talented natural thrower of my lifetime. And I say that with respect to Dan Marino, yes, but also knowing that Marino's apex, I was literally 1 year old. So, you know what I mean? Right. I don't have a great recollection of it.
Well, you have some recollection.
Some, of course. I mean, come on, he's still grinding. But of people that I've watched play football regularly, and I never quite understood like why he didn't, what he was missing. And I felt like his time with the Jets put a real microscope on it, or a magnifying glass, I should say, where a lot of the intangible stuff, leadership stuff, taking accountability, he doesn't, to me, seem to have when the other great quarterbacks do. And lastly, Brew, and then I give it to you, this is incredibly rare for an all-time great quarterback to have their career end on this type of whimper. So I picked the 10 best quarterbacks to retire, the last 10 great quarterbacks to retire, if you will. And what you're going to see is how many, like...
All right, I'm going to show the graphic. They all end on whimpers. They all end on whimpers, and it is what it is. That's well, I guess Aikman didn't. Let's see. I don't remember how Aikman's career ended.
Between their retirement and their last playoff appearance, between their retirement and their last playoff win. So of the last 10 great quarterbacks to retire, and if you would have included Big Ben, his number would be 0 as well. They made the playoffs. 7 of them made the playoffs in their final year. Mm-hmm. And all of them but Troy, who didn't want to retire, got kind of forced out due to concussions, won a playoff game their last year or their second to last year. For Rodgers, it's been 3 years without the playoffs, 4 years without a win. So none of these other guys ended in obscurity, so to speak. That is very, very rare in the modern era under the current playoff format, all of that. And so I know that's a lot to digest, but again, the number on the screen there is, it's just years between retirement and last playoff appearance and last playoff win. And for everybody, it's 0s and 1s across the board. Rodgers would be 3 and 4.
Yeah, it's interesting that you brought up Favre to start, because probably like you, for years, I have felt like Aaron Rodgers is definitely better than Brett Favre. Like, not to diminish Favre, he was like...
No, he wasn't. I guess he was. But no, Favre was so much more fun to watch.
All-time great. But that Rodgers was better. But I agree that this last act did make me say, is he?
Right.
And again,
it's not personal stuff, because Favre's personal stuff's way worse than any Aaron stuff.
But as far as personal football stuff,
yes,
just like, I mean, Favre, we know, won the 3 straight MVPs, got his team to 2 Super Bowls?
Back to back.
Super Bowls. And it just seems like probably, I'm not in these locker rooms, there are some teammates that speak highly of Aaron Rodgers, some not so much. Like you said, Favre had his issues. But it seems like he probably was better in the locker room. That's just my. I mean, I
Coach
wish Greg
Mangini
was here.
swears he was great in that locker room.
Yeah. So to me, look, a guy not playing well in his 40s, no big deal. He's obviously still first ballot Hall of Famer, probably top 10 quarterback of all time, certainly the modern era.
He's like top 10 quarterback of like the last 10 years. Like, I'm sorry, but he's only won one Super Bowl. There's so many quarterbacks that have won more Super Bowls that it's such a hard debate, man. I just don't know. But does this affect his legacy? I don't think so, because I don't think he's done. I think he's got another year. He's got time to go to another team. How cool would it be if he goes to like some shitty team like Tennessee and wins the division and turns it around and like makes the playoffs next year? Like, that would be cool as hell. Good for Aaron Rodgers. Like, I think he had an injury, obviously, last season. And this past season, everything just kind of fell flat. But I think that's, I don't know. I think that's a lot to do more with the Jets culture than Aaron Rodgers. Although Aaron Rodgers didn't play good all season. He started to come on late in the season. I don't know. It's tough. I don't think he was all that good his last couple years in Green Bay either. So I think what you see is what you get with Aaron Rodgers. But as far as his legacy goes, I mean, I guess he's going to go down as one of the all-time greats. People are going to put little asterisks next to those Jets years. A lot of people don't remember, like, the all-time greats, like, where they ended up. Like, do they really remember, like, Warren Moon on Minnesota? Do they remember Joe Namath as a Ram? They don't really remember that stuff. They barely remember Kurt Warner as a Giant. And he went on to Arizona and went to the Super Bowl after the Giants. That could be what you see with Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying he's going to go to the Super Bowl, but he could be like how Kurt Warner spent some time in the Giants, then went to Arizona and took them to a Super Bowl. Maybe that'll be Aaron Rodgers' legacy. Maybe he will be another one of those quarterbacks who takes... I don't think he's going to go to a Super Bowl, but he'll take another team to the playoffs. Maybe his final career will be a playoff loss, his final career game, and then that'll be it. I don't think he's got a lot of time left. I think he's got one season left. I don't think he wants to go out like this. If he goes out like this, then he goes out like this. I just don't think he wants to. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Aaron Rodgers, does the Jets' tenure affect his legacy? I really don't think it does. I don't think much of him in the first place, but that's just me. I know I'm in the very small minority, but I don't know. Let me know, guys, what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace!